No, I'm not going to talk about how to become a writer in SJ games. For that, just read the author guidelines on their website. I'm going to talk about how jobs work in GURPS and how to get one in the game. As you might know, if there is something you can do in real life, there are rules for it in GURPS. A person's job is an important part of life for many people, and it can be for your character as well. If your character was made with a settled lifestyle in mind, that is, with only 20% of your starting money spent on adventure gear, he probably also has a job that supports his household and status. The GM decides what jobs are available in the game and for whom, because, for example, if you are poor and have status -1, you are very unlikely to have a high-class job, right? Each job has the following: name, minimum TL, description, prerequisites, job role, monthly pay, and wealth level. Name is self-explanatory. Minimum TL is the TL when the job first appears. Description can tell you what you actually do in your job, how many hours per day it takes, etc. Prerequisites describe what skills or traits you need for this job and what traits are forbidden. Usually, this is just a skill level, either an absolute value or a relative one. The job role is made at the end of every month in which a character works. Usually, this is one of the prerequisite skills. Sometimes it's one specific skill, sometimes it's the worst of all prerequisite skills, and sometimes it's the best one of them. It all depends on the job again. Bonuses and penalties can be applied too, situationally. If a job does not have any prerequisite, then a job role might be an attribute role or a role against a static number. The specifics depend on the job in question. For example, on some jobs you earn the monthly pay on anything but a critical failure or success. A critical success gives you a raise, while a critical failure may mean lack of payment, demotion, injury, getting fired, or even arrested. Again, it depends on the job. Some jobs have their monthly pay modified by margin of success or failure. They are more varied. Monthly pay depends on the TL. GURPS Basic Set has a table with typical monthly pays for every TL on page 517. This amount is multiplied for the job's wealth level, and this also affects the status this job can support. This modified monthly pay can be adjusted slightly to give jobs more variation. If you took negative wealth at character creation, then finding a good job might be your gateway to buying off your wealth at disadvantage. So, how do you actually find a job? If you are not self-employed, you have to make an IQ roll once per week to find an employer, if he even exists. Laziness penalizes this roll. This roll is also modified for city size. It's easy to find a job in a large city, or qualification, advertising, and scarcity. Finding a high status job is more difficult. You can also take another penalty to find multiple jobs at once. If you'd like to check some occupation examples, you can find many in GURPS Low-Tech Companion 3 at the very end, GURPS Fantasy and GURPS Brainstorm. The latter, for example, has such jobs as Bounty Hunter and Mercenary. Now you know how much some of the adventurers should be paid, and if you want to hire a Bounty Hunter, you now know how much it will cost. But how do you find a hireling? It's like finding a job, but in reverse. You may make an IQ roll once per week, but you can substitute an appropriate skill such as administration, current affairs, propaganda, streetwise, etc. This is modified for city size, money spent on advertising, money offered above the typical monthly pay for the job, risks, and legality. Hirelings may have different loyalty values. This is a variant reaction role. GURPS Basic Set even has rules for finding and buying slaves in game worlds where slavery is legal, and how their loyalty is modified. This is just the basic rules, and all these aspects were expanded in GURPS Social Engineering. If you get that book, you'll have precise rules on how to get a promotion, get a new level of rank in an organization, keep a job for a long time, more rules on hirelings, slaves, and loyalty. This is something few game systems give enough attention, and I like that GURPS has rules for that. One of my favorite GURPS sessions was about the characters finding crewmates for their spaceship. The entire session was a series of hireling search roles, and then we played out actual job interviews. For me, that was a very memorable and fun experience. In games where there's enough downtime, finding a job and making a series of job roles can earn you some money that you couldn't get by adventuring. For example, you could be stuck in town while winter and snowfalls are raging outside the town walls, preventing you from adventuring. Why not earn some money in town then? These rules can also serve as a gateway to finding a quest. If you do not know where to go, you can try finding an employer and offering your skills. I believe that these rules, while they might seem relatively inconsequential, may open up many possibilities for role-playing and even entire adventures. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.